There we go. Welcome back to the TNT Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the Skinwalker at the request of Rion. The Skinwalker comes from the word meaning, quote, harmful witch in the Navajo culture.
Navajo. Did you just say Navajo?
Yeah?
You ever heard of the Mojave Desert?
Okay, man. That's not how it's pronounced, I take it?
No, it's the Mojave Desert.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Navajo. You know, they don't even call it June and July out there. They call it Un and Uli.
No, you can't say that.
Why? That's the way they talk.
Making a
It's Navajo. And not to be confused with the San Francisco ho.
These strange beings can possess or turn into various animals. They play spells on people and do anything opposite of what the medicine man would do for his people. The term comes from the
Navajo.
The term comes from Navajo word Yinaldulushi.
Say that again.
I practiced this one.
Say it again.
Yinaldulushi.
Now, what does that mean?
It means, quote, by means of it, it goes on all fours.
I had a crippled up cousin went about pretty much the same way.
That, you stop.
He did.
You can't just say that.
I did.
It is taboo for Navajo people to discuss the... Sorry.
What?
It is taboo for Navajo people to discuss the Skinwalker with outsiders because it is feared they wouldn't understand it.
Well, they hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
I just don't get it.
A Skinwalker can either be male or female.
Not more of this woke crap.
The coyote is one such animal they like to take the form of, but can take the form of others and even humans.
So I walk around in my skin all the time. Does that make me a skinwalker?
That's not why they're called that.
Why?
They walk in other people's skin.
I tried walking without my skin one time and kept getting infections and stuff.
You're so, funny,
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to move from skin...
You ever go anywhere without your skin?
No, I keep
Okay,
it on.
man.
We move from the Skinwalker to the Skinwalker Ranch, which sits near Ballard, Utah.
Where?
Ballard, Utah.
Okay.
This area has been credited with UFOs, paranormal encounters, and even skinwalkers. The story begins in the 1970s by a newspaper writer named George Knapp. It began with a family buying the ranch and started having very strange occurrences happening on the ranch.
That kind of reminds me of that Amityville horror.
How so?
Well, wasn't nothing happening there for years, and somebody buys a house, and all of a sudden, it's full of goats.
Well, maybe they're after these people.
Oh. So maybe,
Sorry.
maybe it ain't the ranch. Maybe these people brought it with it.
I don't know, man. This is the kind of stuff they see. You see that image right there, man.
Yeah, where's these pecker at?
Why are you asking? Why?
Because it's just the way he's built. I don't know if it's on top or bottom.
Probably the bottom.
Oh, thanks for clearing that up.
You don't see that part. And also, it wouldn't be his. He's obviously in something's body.
Is that why it's blurry, sister?
Over 50-year history of the ranch, there have been cattle mutilations, UFOs, orbs, large unknown animals with fierce red eyes. They aren't harmed by bullets. They're also got this strange magnetic field around all the ranch.
Well, who put Kevlar on the wildlife?
What?
Who put Kevlar on the wildlife?
Skinwalkers probably.
Skinwalkers put Kevlar on the wildlife?
What are you talking about?
You don't even know what Kevlar is.
No.
Dude. Bulletproof vest.
Oh. I don't think I can stress enough. That's a real image. All the other ones I've used have been like drawings. That's a real image.
I've seen Bigfoot videos less blurry than that.
Okay. It's on a trail cam.
My trail cam ain't blurry.
That one is.
Huh?
That one is.
That one is. Must be the first one they ever built back in 1910.
Okay, whatever. In 1996, a man named Robert Bigelow bought the ranch for $200,000 to try and learn what was happening on the property. George Knapp later wrote a book with Colm Kelleher where they discussed the things that have been spotted on Skinwalker Ranch by Bigelow. Are you keeping up?
Hey, you know what? He might be onto something here. Maybe I need to start seeing some crap on my property, and then I can sell my house to some rich dummy for a ton of money it ain't worth, and he can hunt goats. and extra testicles and stuff while I'm headed to the bank.
Okay, but when you see stuff like that, that ain't something you can just fake, man. Look at that picture.
It don't even look real.
Look at him.
I'm looking at him.
He's got a face, weird limbs.
Where is his face?
The top. You don't see the mouth and the eyes and the ear.
I just see a gap, dark gap.
Hang on. That right there. That's the mouth.
Oh yeah, it looks like he's saying something.
Whatever.
He's saying, boy, it sure is hard to get around all broke like this. I shouldn't have got hit by that train.
You know there's been Sasquatches in this ranch too. UFOs, crop circles, ghosts. This place is high and...
Wait a minute. They hadn't seen the Loch Ness Monster there yet? They left one out.
The Defense Department official visited the ranch, and following some strange encounters, the Defense Department appropriated $22 million taxpayer dollars to study the ranch.
Oh, I hope they did that under Biden. Elon Musk will put a stop to that crap.
Yeah.
I didn't give him permission to use my tax money to waste it on something like that.
Robert Schaefer believed it's all a big scam.
Tim Kent does too.
No, it's not. He notes that Kenneth and Edith Myers... Oh my gosh.
Say that again.
He notes that Kenneth and Edith Myers...
Say it 3 times real fast.
He noted that Kenneth and Edith Myers... He noted... They lived there for 60 years and never witnessed anything out of the ordinary.
Imagine that.
He claims the caretaker originated the silly stories to Bigelow, who was gullible enough to buy the ranch at a high price.
Me and old Bob Schaefer. Only ones around with common sense.
But they couldn't fake an image like that. They couldn't fake this whole thing like that. You're telling me they have that ranch and they just decided to fake this whole story and everyone bought it? No. There's more to it than that.
You say so.
James Randi claims Bigelow should have an award for funding a most useless study of supernatural paranormal events.
Well, Jimmy Randi, he got a little common sense too, man.
I'm telling you this I'm not reassuring you that this isn't true. I'm telling you what this one guy is saying while everyone else is saying differently.
Oh.
And you're telling me you're believing this one...
I kind of like Bob and Jimmy. They sound like normal people like me.
In 2016, Bigelow sold the ranch for $500,000. It is now a restricted area. The company that purchased the ranch did so to charge people to make television shows, movies, and etc. That's where the scam part's
Now
come in.
you got it.
Now, that's where it comes into a scam. But... So they're basically using this real paranormal stuff to charge people.
Uh-huh. How many people have seen this thing when they've been out there?
The picture, yeah, a lot.
Not the picture, the thing.
There's no telling.
No telling.
Probably a lot.
Well, you'd think they'd get some better pictures of it.
Not if you just see it and it passes by. You know one of the things it does, don't you? Skinwalkers...
They walk.
Funny. They shout, like they scream like people. And there's been recordings of that.
They do.
I could play you a recording.
What do they say? Well, no, you ain't got to play me recording. Just tell me what they say when
And they say, like, help me. They're like a person begging for help. But it's like...
I would too if my body was all twisted up like that. It's obvious he's got arthritis or something.
It's to lure...
Rheumatism.
It's to lure people in.
Why?
Because they want to take people and...
Do what to them? How many people's missing there?
Do that. Mess up their skin. Get in their skin.
You say so.
The company then sold the ranch in 2020 to a real estate developer who wants to study the area and see if anything indeed paranormal occurs.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other evidence you got? Is that it?
That's it. But look at that. Look at that image.
I'm looking at
that. Looks real. He's probably in a deer skin right now.
Ain't no deer look like that.
Could be worse.
Before I rate this thing, I got a few questions.
Go ahead.
So this ranch,
it's sick.
A bunch of Navajo Skinwalkers live there. Is that what you're saying?
Really funny.
I'm asking. I got to know if I can rate it.
Yes.
And so, what's these witch doctors' big attraction with this joint?
Look at it. You wouldn't tell me if demons like that lived in your ranch and you...
I'd be attracted to it. No. I'm attracted to hot women. That's just me.
I don't mean attracted like they... in love with them.
Well, how did they get there? These skinwalkers come riding in on a flying saucer? Is that what you say?
Some people say they're aliens. Some people believe that they're demons and ghosts and ghouls, and who knows what they are.
Well, what's their point?
They're like, okay, hear me out.
Okay.
If they're aliens, then they might be. I got two theories. If they're aliens, they might be they steal the skin of animals and people to blend in, to maybe one day even blend in amongst us. That's their plan, is they slowly build their way up to find out how to do it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Second theory,
now I'm getting it.
Possibly, is it's a cryptid. Like, it's just literally an animal.
Is he bald? Is that his ear way back on the back of his head? Look right here. That looks like an ear way back here. And like an eye right there. And then he's got I don't know what that is. He's got a tumor on top of his head, maybe. And what is this thing sticking out here? Is that his butt cheek?
No, that'd probably be the bottom of him. He's kind of shaped like a spider. You don't see the shadow?
It looks like somebody cut a monkey in half right here and put some human legs on it going the other way. And that's all of it.
You're telling me they cut a human's legs off and put it on a monkey?
No, they cropped it. You heard of that?
Photoshopped.
Yeah, that. Photoshopped.
They didn't have that in the 1990s, bro.
They didn't have Photoshop in the 90s?
I think this picture was taken then. I didn't look up the picture.
Oh. Anyway. Oh, you want me to rate it?
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Well, you got to consider my alien theory and my theory that they could be demons even.
I'm just going to give it a 9.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, subtract 9 from 10. What's that? 1. Yeah, that's what I'm giving this one. 1. Rion believes this.
He said so.
He did. Well, if Rion believes it, I give it a 2. Plus, you told me it's got a pecker down on the bottom, right? Well, I'm going to give that a 3 because I like that pecker being down.
Just give me a score.
A 3. I'm going to give you a 3. I'm being
a 3. I get a 3 for that.
That's being very kind because I'm just not, I don't know.
Look at that image.
I am.
Look at it. Look.
It looks like.
Look, you see that?
It looks
Those
like
are knees.
Knees?
Those are knees. And they're straight. And he's got this weird,
I thought that was his knees and this was his arms.
Yeah, but there could be both knees because he's like a weird amalgamation.
His elbows is turned around backwards because that train hit him. Got his head turned the wrong way,
Where
too.
did you get train?
Something
Nowhere in my
hit him.
script did I mention it's train.
Maybe he fell out of the... I know, I got it. He fell out of the flying saucer. He thought they was on the ground and he jumped out of the flying saucer and there's a mile up.
I think
that's why he's built like that. He's all broke up where he mounts on the ground 3 or 4 times, see?
I think my theory's better.
What's your theory?
That they're aliens trying to be us.
Well, he's obviously an alien, but he got out of the flying saucer too. He traveled billions of light years across the universe to get here, and then he didn't even know the flying saucer wasn't on the ground.
When he got out, he broke. Do you know how humans perfect scientific experiments? They try it over and over, trial and error.
Oh, so
aliens are doing that. That's
so
why
these extra testicles come millions of light years across the universe, and they try to form a human, and they get him all twisted up.
Yeah, it's trial and error.
Well, to be so smart, have such technology, they sure screwed that one up.
But they mastered the voices and the screams.
They don't even have a button.
No, but that's the answer. That's the answer. What? That's why that person who owned the ranch before didn't see them because they hadn't perfected the craft yet. Now they got the voice, and that's what they're using. They got the voice.
Let me see what I gotta say to that. Hey, have you thought about seeing a psychiatrist?
No.
Maybe you should. And take him with you.
You know what? I'm gonna do it.
Take that Skinwalker with you.
I'm ending the episode.